What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I wanted to go over with you my thoughts on the current real estate market, what I think the real estate market will look like this year in 2022, and whether or not I think that you should buy now or hold off and wait if you're in the market to purchase a home. If you didn't already know, I am a real estate agent and a real estate investor. I live and I breathe real estate, so I feel like I have a pretty good pulse on what the market is doing at the current moment. The real estate market the past 2 years has been absolutely crazy. All you need to do is watch the news or YouTube for 5 minutes to realize that housing prices have surged all over the country. According to the CoreLogic 20 City Home Price Index, housing prices in the biggest 20 metropolitan areas of this country have went up a whopping 18.4% in 2021 alone. With both interest rates and inventory levels at all-time lows, this has created a crazed housing market, which could frankly be pretty difficult to deal with if you're in the market to buy. So do I think this will continue, or is there an impending crash coming soon? The real estate market is like any other market, which is predicated on simple supply and demand, both of which have been extreme. The demand for housing has skyrocketed since the beginning of 2020 for a few different reasons. Number one, interest rates have been at all-time low levels since the beginning of the pandemic, bolstering buyers' budgets and shooting the prices of homes way up. Number two, home buyers have never had so much money in the bank since the federal government has printed money and given out stimulus checks like free candy. And number three, the millennial generation, after being stuck in their one-bedroom apartments during the heights of the pandemic, finally saw the value to being a homeowner and are in the market to purchase a home. While demand skyrocketed, inventory and supply has crept to an all-time low level. Nationally, currently, we're only at 1.5 months worth of supply. That is compared to 2.2 months worth of supply in 2020 and 3.5 months worth of supply in 2019. As you can see, we've been at a decline even before the pandemic. Along with the extremely strong buyer's demand since the beginning of COVID, we are simply not keeping up with the demand of new housing. And this problem predated the pandemic. In areas like mine, especially in Bergen County, New Jersey, it is extremely difficult to build more because land is at such a premium and it's extremely hard to find vacant land to develop on. In addition, it is even more difficult to build condo developments and multifamily developments in residential areas because neighbors have concerns about extra strain on their schooling systems, local traffic, among other things. This has all been adding up for a while to create an extreme situation of low inventory. I believe a huge part of living the American dream is owning your own home. It is the largest wealth building tool that most Americans have used over a lifetime. And frankly, I'm pretty concerned about the future affordability of housing in this country. We may be slowly turning into renter nation unless something drastic changes. So here is my forecast. The Fed recently announced that they will start tapering bond purchases. This is going to increase the federal funds rate and it'll eventually increase mortgage rates. This will start happening towards the second half of 2022. So buyer demand may decrease at that time, but that's still 6 months away from now. Because of this, I still expect a strong spring season with a tapering off in the summer season because of the higher interest rates. With the rates forecasted to go up towards the back end of 2022, I do expect that housing prices will rise slower than they have the last 2 years, but will still continue to be on an upward trend, and that's simply because of the lack of inventory issue that is not going away. Even though rates are still going to be low historically speaking, they will be higher than they have the last 2 years. This is only going to affect one group of people in my view, and that's first-time homebuyers, where affordability is frankly a concern already. The first-time homebuyers have already been mostly squeezed out of this market. According to NAR, only 26% of home purchases are first-time homebuyers right now. That's the lowest level it's been since they started recording in 2008. Even with rates forecasted to increase in 2022, because of the fact that the inventory issue is not going away anytime soon, I do not foresee any real estate market crash this year at all. For a crash to happen, the inventory levels would have to drastically increase in a very short period of time. It would have to not only increase, but it would have to increase to a level that would overflow all of the current buyers in this market. The only way for a major flood of new inventory to come on a market would be a major recession. But let's talk about recessions for a second. I know we all remember 2008, when it was a flood of newly foreclosed home inventory put on a market, which dropped the prices of all the neighboring homes quickly. But believe it or not, in other recessionary periods, real estate has held up fairly well. And a lot of the time it acts as a safe haven in distressful economic times. Many people thought that there was a crash incoming when the mortgage forbearance options expired. But in fact, out of the 7 million homeowners that were on forbearance options, only 7% of them ended up either refinancing or selling their home to get out of their mortgage. The mortgage forbearance expiration really ended up being a big nothing burger in regards to the grand scheme of the real estate market. Since lack of inventory will continue to be a strong factor in the real estate market, I do expect that home prices will be higher this time next year than they are right now. But the market is going to be less competitive most likely, and it'll be a little bit easier for a home buyer to find a home. What we may see in the second half of 2022 is a market slowdown. Now, what is a market slowdown? Well, it's all relative. When I mention slowdown, I'm comparing it to the current situation that we see across the country. Multiple offers, way over asking price situations. So instead of getting 8 to 10 offers on a house, maybe you only get 2 or 3. Instead of a house going for $50,000 or $100,000 over what the list price is, maybe it'll go for just list price or maybe just slightly above. So, should you buy now or should you wait? Well, I always tell clients that they should really not try to time the market. Just like the stock market, the real estate market is impossible to time. So focus mainly on the plans of you and your family. If it makes sense for you and your family to purchase now, do it now. But if you wait, you should know that most likely the home that you're gonna buy is gonna be not only more expensive, but your payment is gonna be more expensive because of the higher interest rates. But the good news is that more likely than not, it's gonna be a less competitive market with less multiple offer situations, making it easier for you as a buyer to get your offer accepted on the home that you love. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you got any value out of this video at all, please hit the like button down below, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna keep posting these videos at least once a week on real estate, the economy, the stock market, personal finance, entrepreneurship. We cover it all here. What are your thoughts on the real estate market? Let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time.